Good evening, Assalamu Alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ahmed Nawaz. Tonight's show is going to focus on Pakistan's World Cup campaign that begins very soon. We're expecting another 24 hours until we get the final list of the squad that is going to England for the ICC ODI World Cup 2019 in England and Wales. And we're very hopeful that this is going to be a squad that the captain Sarfaraz Ahmed was talking about when he said that this is going to be the team that is definitely going to perform, and he was really hopeful for these guys to get some good results for the team. The fitness test has concluded at the National Cricket Academy in Lahore. Now there is a slight confusion. There's plenty of bowlers, but where are the batsmen? Then there are questions as Umar Akmal or Asif Ali. Then there's another question that says Shinwari or Junaid Khan. So there's a lot of things that need to be answered, and of course we're going to talk to our guests about that. In the second segment of tonight's show, we did talk about the UEFA Champions League yesterday as well. We're going to talk about the two quarterfinal second legs that have been completed, and I must say they were a real heartbreak. Not because I was supporting United, but I saw Juventus fans on the equal verge of breaking down as well. Barcelona beating Manchester United courtesy of a superb performance by Lionel Messi at Camp Nou. Barcelona have really showed that they're a team not to be reckoned with, and Messi has once again showed that he is the best in the world when it comes to football. So we're going to talk about that, but in the second match, like I said, it wasn't just United fans. Juventus crashing apart to Ajax, and that was something that nobody expected. I for once didn't expect it, if people did, because I thought Cristiano Ronaldo once again is going to be that flamboyant number 10 he's known for, and he's going to take that game away, but that never happened. Number 7 rather, not number 10, but then it never happened. It didn't look like it was going to happen, and of course Ajax getting a better of them. While tonight we know that City is going to be in contention as well, Liverpool's going to be fighting as well, and then of course Tottenham Hotspur. So 3 English teams still in contention to make it to those semi-final spots. So we're going to be talking about that as well. For the first segment of tonight's show, we've been joined in studios. Guruji is back. We've got Leena Moin Aziz. Leena, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. God bless you. And thank you.
Yeah. And we've got the very, very fantastic Ali Mehdi. Ali, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Walaikum salam. Thanks for having me, Ahmed.
Right. Both of you wearing glasses. I'm feeling left out. I should have gotten one too, but I see one spare that maybe...
You can borrow this from me, no problem.
Right. Like I said, 24 hours. All is going to be crystal clear. But then again, like I mentioned, there are 2-3 questions that came into my mind. One was about, I'm definitely going to start with Junaid Khan, because we remember in last year's Champions Trophy, Pakistan's campaign was looking very shaky. But then again, you brought in Junaid Khan, you paired him up with Mohammad Amir, and not just Junaid, Amir became a new bowler after that. He's that one guy that always looks like making the side, but somewhere down the line, he's been axed.
Absolutely. I'm sure you heard that, fast bowlers hunt in pairs. So, absolutely correct that once Wahab Riaz was dropped and then Junaid Khan stepped in, they started to hunt in pairs. And the Pakistani attack looked like a different attack, looked like a different side. The whole bowling side looked different. Not just the fast bowlers, but even the spinners came into, more into action, because once the fast bowlers were getting wickets up front with a new ball and containing sides and getting wickets, then the spinners also come into their own. So it's very important to have a very, especially in England, to have a very potent bowling side, bowling attack, which will get you wickets, which will contain the opposition for you, the rampant batsmen. Once that happens, the spinners will also play their part. So it's highly imperative to select the right fast bowlers, and I'm completely in favor of Junaid Khan. Always have been, always will be, because I know that he's got he can swing the ball. That's his biggest thing. With a new ball, he can swing the ball and he can take wickets. He has a good head on his shoulders if he's being hit, and he goes for runs. It's not the case that he doesn't go for runs. He goes for runs, but he comes back with a wicket, and that's very important.
Right. The thing with Junaid Khan is that they've utilized him almost everywhere. You talk about the new ball he's performed, in the middle overs he's performed, in the shortest format of the game, or even in the depth overs, he has one of the best Yorkers right now as well, and some variations. So he's a complete package. But like I said, somewhere down the line, we've stuck to flamboyant fast bowlers who've been very good in T20 cricket, and I'm going to talk about Usman Shinwari at this stage. But we did talk about this in the last show as well, that he's one-dimensional. He only wants to bowl quick and bang the pitch hard. But when it comes to a stable mind, because modern cricket is evolving, that doesn't seem to be there.
That doesn't seem to be there. That's why he's probably not going to be selected in the final 15 today. He's one person I'd be very shocked if he was selected in that 15. Junaid Khan has more chances of making it into that top 15. Reason being, Leena just described it right now. I mean, he's an incredible bowler, versatile bowler. He knows how to swing the ball in. He bowls good bounces too. He can bowl with the heavy ball too. But most of all, he has experience of bowling in England. He's done very well. We remember, like you were mentioning right now, in the Champions Trophy, you made some changes. You brought Junaid Khan in. He completely changed, and you brought Fakhr in, and then after that it completely changed. So I mean, it was, the fact of the matter is that you need, the Junaid Khan adds that extra dimension to your bowling. He knows how to bowl the bounces. He has a good slow ball. He's bowled very well in English. He knows how to bowl in English conditions. Let's not forget, he played for Lancashire for a couple of seasons and was probably their best bowler over there for those 2 seasons. So he knows how to bowl in these conditions. He has good experience over there, and I think he'd be the right fit in that squad of 15.
Right. Another question that comes into mind is that we've got so many bowlers. I can just keep on counting them and they'll never end. The question mark remains on Pakistan cricket, but where are the batsmen? And now there are 2 things that need to be, put into perspective here. One is the inclusion of Abid Ali. Is he someone you can bank on right now who can play that role that Azhar Ali did in the Champions Trophy? Because Fakhr, we know, is going to be firing. Then the second question mark that we do see is at the number 6 or number 7 slot, because you've got a contention, and some might not think it's a contention, but there are 2 names probable, and that is, of course, Umar Akmal and Asif Ali.
Well, Ali and me were talking off the air, and he was telling me that he's heard that Asif Ali's name is coming up very strongly, and I would like that, because even yesterday we were discussing that we did favor before the Australian series, we did favor Umar Akmal on the basis of some good innings that he played during the PSL, but then once again during the Australian series he showed us that he's not a changed man. He's got all the talent in the world, but his mental, I mean, cricket is a mental game, but his mind is still the same. He's like a little child, he doesn't know how to focus. His discipline is wavered. He's a wavered character. I mean, there are no 2 ways about that. So I don't think so. We need to be taking someone who can't focus, whose discipline is also, he's wavered. He's still not mature enough to play and make the side win. His job is that of a finisher, and he can never finish in an innings because his shot selection is terrible to say the least. So if your shot selection is not good, then you can't finish matches for your team, your country. So that's why I think, I'm not saying that Asif is way better. I think his shot selection also leaves a lot to be desired, but then I think he can still be preferred because he's also showed some form. So between the 2, I'd still also go a little bit towards Asif Ali. So if his name is in favor, he's in favor, I think he definitely should be given a chance, because he can hit those big sixers, and I feel his shot selection is a little better than, just a little better than Umar Akmal.
Ali Mehdi, what do you think? Because I still remember when Afridi used to bat, we always had our heart in our mouth. It's the same thing with Umar Akmal. You never know when he's going to crack or when he's going to play a suicidal shot. With Asif, it tends to look the same. His technique does look a little bit wavered. But then again, I still think he has that West Indian kind of clean 6 hitting ability that is necessary in the later half of the game.
Look, if you're going to choose, if it's going to be selected, if you're talking about number 6 or 7, then definitely Asif Ali is the man to go with. The reason being is because, like you mentioned, he hits the ball very cleanly. He has this ability to clear the long ball, to hit the long ball, and then at the same time, hit the long handle, and most importantly, clear the boundary with ease. Umar Akmal is a sort of player you want to play him up the order, maybe a number 4 or number 5. That's his preferred position, and he likes constructing or generating innings. But if you want quick runs, if you want quick runs down the order, is definitely Asif Ali. Asif Ali, he doesn't have the proper technique. He's probably not a very sound player to watch, but he can hit the ball very hard. He can, once he gets going, we've seen in domestic cricket, we saw in the right now in the recently concluded PSL that he can hit the ball very hard too, and he's had some good form too. But it's important that he needs to take it up to the next next level. In the World Cup, it's going to be different. You're going to come up against top quality bowlers. You're going to come up against bowlers who bowl very well at the death too, against very good spinners who can get something off the surface too. So he's really going to be tested too. But if you were to choose between the two for number 6, number 7, it would probably be Asif Ali.
Lena, I got my hands on a piece of article I was reading, and when I went to the end of it, there was the guy who wrote it had his top order, which he thought should be selected. And to my surprise, or not to my surprise, I didn't see Shoaib Malik in there. I actually saw Mohammad Hafiz part of that middle order. Now, this is very funny because just before the show in the newsroom, you did mention about Malik's ability overseas. And of course, inability overseas. But I think he's a character that nobody has ever rated negatively in terms of his cricket or in terms of his form. I don't know whether the seniority factor kicks in, but he is now on the verge of saying goodbye. But then again, now we're actually thinking of a stable middle order. Mohammad Hafiz has got to come back. Mohammad Rizwan, who I thought was brilliant in playing runner ball shots, although he doesn't have that 6-hitting ability. Who would you bank on for that middle order role?
I'd definitely select one of the two between Hafiz and
Not
Malik.
both.
Not both. And in this case, my choice would be Hafiz because of how he played last in 2017 in the final, that Champions Trophy win, famous win against India. He played that fantastic innings, which gave the Pakistani innings that fillip, that impetus that it needed at that point to take it over 300 runs and to build that pressure over India to chase over 300 runs. So his innings was, I thought, was very, very crucial. And I've been saying from a long time that instead of making him bat in the top 4 in the one days, make him bat at number 6. You know, that's a right position for Hafiz, and tell him, give him the role. It is essential not just to make him bat at number 6, but to talk to him and tell him that your role is to make quick runs and to play the ball, you know, luff the ball, hit it for sixes, whatever, to give it more impetus, more fillip. So if that happens, then he becomes a very important character. Also, he bowls a little more, much more rather than Malik. He's very effective. Even with a changed action, he's effective against the left-handers
and with the new ball. Yeah.
And with the new, although he's not the same bowler that he. Let's just also make it clear that he's not the same bowler, but he's a very effective cricketer. So I would still choose him. And the fact that Malik's average, I think, is outside Pakistan, it's only 13-14 runs. And over the career, whole career, which spans over 13-14 years, I think it is definitely less than 20. It might not be exactly 13-14, and people might come and say, ma'am, aap to keh rahi thi 13. Okay, maybe not 13 exactly, but I'm quite certain it's definitely under 20, which is for a senior batsman. That is not the average one expects. It should be at least in the 30s, even though we know that English condition, Australian conditions, South African conditions are difficult. But for a guy who's played over 200 matches and has a career which spans over more than a decade, it should not be under 15 or 20 runs. So I don't favor him, and he was injured also. I would definitely pick Hafiz, and I would like to pick Rizwan also, because last year or so I wasn't too much in favor of him. But you know, like they say in English, there is a big gap between the cup and the lip.
Yeah.
So between last year and this year, the gap of 1 year, he's really improved himself. He plays the sweep really well. He can play a few shots really well. He can improvise a little bit. But if you want to play Rizwan, rest assured he has to play in the top 4. That's it.
This is very important because, and I have the squad as well. I'll go to the visuals as well. But before that, I'll talk to you very quickly that I feel sorry when people talk about his 6-hitting ability, because the problem with Pakistan cricket right now is not the 6-hitting ability, is somebody sane enough to bat through. And of course, Rizwan can be that at number 3 or 4. Although he needs to realize that with 10 or 15 overs to go, he needs to call it, because then the other people can come in and play more than 10 runs and over. But then again, he has a more stable head than all of them combined.
That's the thing about Rizwan. I think he's got a very good head on his shoulders. He's showed so much maturity in this Australia series too, that, you know, look, he doesn't have the best strike rate in the world, but what's batting at probably about 80 was his strike rate. But most importantly, he knows how to see the ball through. He knows how to make sure he doesn't give his wicket away like the likes of Umar Akmal or Asif Ali for that matter. So, you know, he's very, like you mentioned, I think he goes very well up in the top 4. And the most important thing is that he's added some excellent shots in his arsenal actually. He's sweeping very well, he's hitting the ball through cover very well, he's improvising, you know, getting some quick runs.
And can be a great fielder.
And can be a good fielder too. So I think he adds an extra bit with his fielding ability and with his batting too. But the important thing is it too late for Rizwan right now? Because look, the thing with Rizwan is he's only performed well recently. He had an excellent series with Pakistan A against New Zealand A. We saw it in the fall, and then over that he's actually performed well he's done okay in the PSL too, and then he's actually he's carried that on into this Australia series. This Australia series has been a blessing in disguise for him because he's done very well. He got those 200s too. So I'm just wondering whether it's a bit too late for him or not. But you know, if you were to select, a possible candidate for that top 4 position in the number 3 or 4, he could actually slot in very likely, other than the likes of Umar Akmal.
Yeah, but that does mean that you'll have to kill a place. And that being said, now our Sports Extra team, our sports desk has combined some facts and figures there as well. We're going to show you the probables for the squad. At number 1, we've got Fakhar Zaman, 31 matches so far, 1,442 runs, an average of 53.4, strike rate 96.19, 300s and 950s. All you need to do, I think, is talk to him, obviously. And obviously, we need a yes or a no from our guests as well. I definitely think a yes, Leena.
No, definitely yes, but he's out of form, definitely. Yeah. But yes, definitely.
And like you said before as well, somebody just needs to talk to him. That's
absolutely,
all you need right
now.
Yeah.
Just figure his head out. What's going on inside his head? Clear the clutter and tell him, look, you know, young man, you got all the talent. Look at your figures, look at your stats, and just go for them.
Yes. And most importantly, Ahmed, but let's not forget, last time he was in England, he was brilliant. He was brilliant in the ODI format. I mean, he was the reason we actually won that Champions Trophy. You actually got him.
Really?
In place.
I thought the no ball was the reason we
won.
No,
the no ball too. But let's not forget the matches before that. Against South Africa, he made that 50. Against Sri Lanka, he got the start too. He was brilliant in the game against England in that semi-final too. So he carried on. He was consistent over there.
But somewhere he looked jot down. Something was definitely wrong with him.
Definitely, but the thing with him is most recently he's looked very bogged down too. He's probably having problems with his technique, but he needs to play his natural game. He needs to hook and pull more. He needs to play the cover shots very well. He plays his natural game, let loose and go against the opposition.
Number 2, I think the most controversial cricketer up till now in Pakistan cricket. He's said a lot, but he hasn't done a lot for me as well. The numbers say something else. 24 games, 1,153 runs, 54.9 of an average, 80.23 the strike rate, 500s and 550. So I know, Leena, the numbers are talking, but we need to talk technically as well, because the front foot at this stage of your career, when you're playing for Pakistan, is something you really need to realize.
I'm 100% in his favor. Look, you know, the stats don't lie, the figures don't lie. I mean, look at his average, look at his strike rate is even good, 80 for an opener is good. He's got 500s, 550s. He's young, he's developing, he's a left-hander, and left-handed player's got a lot of flair, and each day he's improving. So to cut his career short right now for any reason would be devastating. For not just for him, but for Pakistan also, because after a long time we found someone who could in the long run be a really good opener for us, and it's been you know, the thorn in our flesh not finding the opener. So this one is a good one, and he's someone we should really take care of, and all this parchi nonsense should be thrown in the dustbin.
Should stop. Like Leena mentioned as well, and I'll say the same, 24 games, an average of 54.9, 80.23 strike rate, 500s and 550s. Ali Mehdi, the numbers are truly in his favor, but I frankly think what Leena said is somewhat right, because Salman Butt used to be that one left-handed opener that we used to see, or this could be the find of Pakistan cricket in the opening department. This is another guy, if he just does justice to his game and techniques, he could go a long way.
Look, the thing with Imamul Haq is, I think that the series against South Africa was, he turned a corner over there. I thought he was brilliant in that series. He was the man of the series. To go to South Africa on those hard hitting pitches where the ball bounces very much, he actually did very well. So I think He's
Right, Ali
definitely
Mehdi,
should
the
go.
next one, Abid Ali, just two games, 112 runs, obviously 100, and he got a duck. 56 of an average strike rate of 93.3. Somebody who did look a little stable, but then again, too late to call.
I think it's too late for him. I generally feel that it would be too difficult to take him now because you would have to kill a place to actually fit him in. He's just recently made his debut for Pakistan. So, I mean, he's done okay. Look, he's one for the future, but I just think it's too late for him.
Right. Lina, Abid Ali, yes or no?
Yes, definitely
Yes,
yes.
definitely
He's got
yes.
domestic cricket behind him, remember, and that's a plus point.
And a lot
for
of
me.
confidence.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of confidence in playing the swing ball. Shan Masood, Lina.
I like him, but no.
Not for one day cricket.
No, not for one day cricket.
Right.
Yeah.
Ali Mehdi, what do you think
Definitely
of Shan Masood?
not. He's too slow and he's a test cricket player. He's got the right technique for test cricket for the longer format of the game, but he's just too slow for ODI.
So that does the opening department. Now if you go to the middle order, then we see Babar Azam with his amazing figures. 51.29 the average, 84.66 the strike rate, 800s, 10 50s. He's played 59 games so far, 2,462 runs. A guy we can bank on anytime.
Absolutely, he's the one for the future. Beautiful player, reminds me a bit of Jayawardene, the way he plays his strokes. Very decent player and very stylish. So
I can't
yes.
put a choice of no to you. I'm going to say yes or definitely yes to him because
Definitely yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody's going to win you the World Cup with their batting, it's Babar
It's
Azam.
Babar Azam.
He's been our best find in the batting department for the past 10 years, and I strongly believe that Lina would agree with me over there.
Absolutely.
Right. Your personal favorite today.
Look, I really like him. I think he's done really well the past 4 or 5 years. He's done well for Pakistan. But at this moment where we're going...
And your critics are going to come after you. 282
yeah,
games.
especially on the social media, they're going to be after my life.
7,481.
But definite no at this point
Yeah.
with the injury and with us playing the World Cup in England. No.
But look at the conversion rate. 900s, 44 50s. That's something you want to talk about, don't you?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm saying that he's a pretty decent player. I mean, he's done well over the years, but last 3-4 years for Pakistan, he's done exceptionally well. I mean, he's really taken the batting forward when we've been in trouble. He's taken responsibility, but then he hasn't finished matches for me. At times when I think, oh, Malik's playing so well, now today he's going to win us the match. In that next over he gets out, especially when he's set.
Right.
So that is because of that.
Ali
It's a no.
Mehdi, this looks like Subedar Asif Ali with the picture. But then again, yeah, we've called it a yes, haven't we? 200 runs so far in 11 games. 28.57 the average, but look at the strike rate, 130.71.
That's exactly why we were suggesting that he would be the perfect find for that number 6, number 7 position, because if he can fire up 130, 140, 150 strike rate at the end, can be the difference between a 250 and a 300. So it's a definite yes for me. He's done very well in domestic. He's had a good PSL. You have to take him to the World Cup.
Right, Haris Suhail, yes, somewhat 31 games, 1,251 runs, 48.11 the average. Strike rate 82.62, 200s, 1050s. He's thrown his wicket away at regular intervals when I thought he could get a big score, but in and out of the side regularly because of his fitness.
Yeah, I mean, he's had various problems, some mental ones, some other ones, you know, various. But I like when he starts playing well, he gets a big 100 for you. So I like him. That's why I'll say a yes to him, because once he gets set, he gets those 30,
What's
40
his
runs.
position you see him playing at? What's the
Well, in the
exact
middle order, this
number 4, number 5. Where do you see him?
Well, number 5,
Yeah.
probably number 5, because if you want Rizwan and you want
Azam.
him to play Babar number 3, Rizwan number 4, then him number 5. Yeah.
Yes from Lina. What do you think? Yes or no?
Definitely. He has the most fluid and sound technique. You need that sort of a player to anchor the middle order.
Right. Yes for Haris Suhail from both of them. Yes or no is not the question. I think the number is the real question. The cameraman is waving no, a big no, but this is what Sarfaraz enjoys throughout the world. The expert Kamran Butt has called it a definite no, but Lina, he's the only one we've got.
And I'd say a yes to him, because he's someone who's, people love to hate him, poor guy. And the thing he's got to improve is that he hasn't done well with the bat, and he's very talented with the bat. So he's got to realize that when the team needs him, when it's the crunch moment, when the team is in trouble, in pressure, he has to come and get those 20-25 runs which are needed of him, not get out the first ball. And I know him personally also. He's a really nice guy, and he's not that kind of character. I don't know why he's faltering, but definitely yes.
Yeah.
He's the leader.
Yeah.
There is no other leader. That's the whole thing also.
Ali Mehdi, no, or Sarfaraz धोखा नहीं देगा. What do you say?
Sarfraz dhokha nahi dega, definitely. He's our inspirational captain. The most important thing, Ahmed, is yes, he needs to improve his batting, but we don't have a genuine leader other than him. So it's definitely Sarfraz Ahmed.
And a lot of confidence winning PSL as well for him.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. That's why I felt that, look, people said that he shouldn't have, that it was wrong to not to take him to Australia against Australia. I think it was the right decision.
And his counterpart, yes or no, 32 games, 705 runs, a great average of 33.57 for him. The way he was playing, 89.58 the strike rate, 200s and 350s. Yes or a no?
It's a tough one. I think it is one to take him because you only have 5 positions. I'd probably put him on standby because I think he's come as a reserve because he's just come in. He's come in with a fly right at the death end. So he'd probably be the right person for standby.
Lina, yes or a no?
Well, I'll go with Ali on this because I like him to play. If there is a competition between him and Malik, definitely him. Definitely him. Yes.
Lina's absolutely made me speechless. The king of Pakistan cricket now. I definitely think 208 games, 6,302 runs, 32.99 the average, 137 wickets, 1100s, 36 50s. Truly a player, only one in Pakistan so far I've seen, now Babar Azam, who can play to all parts of the ground.
Absolutely, and he's got the most man of the matches in his career. I think behind, I think Tendolkar only, or at par with him. But I think about 24, 25 man of the matches, and you don't get them like that. You have to perform and then get them. So definitely yes. But I feel the management will have to give him a clear role. You cannot clutter his role. You have to give it to him clearly, and then I'm sure he can deliver.
But considering the time now, let's play a rapid fire, right? Let's just stick to yes and no, and let's say where we do it. Imad Wasim.
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, 100%.
100%, yes.
No doubt.
Next, please, Shadab Khan.
Yes, he's a frontline spinner. You've got to take him.
2 yes.
If he's fit, yes.
3 yes. Okay, there goes it. And Mohammad Nawaz now. This is a little shaky, Lina. No.
No, I wouldn't say. But if Imad is injured, not
then
going,
he's a
then
option.
yes.
And he can bat well as well. So
I completely agree. He is going to be on your standby list.
So he's your plan B, right?
Yeah.
So he gets Fahim Ashraf now. Him in the bowling lineup. Where do you see this, Ali Mehdi?
I think he's your important number 3, number 4. You know, that pacer who gets you wickets.
The first change?
Yeah, first change. Probably who hits the deck really hard. You need to take him.
Lina, a proper bowler or him as an all-rounder?
No, definitely him because he is got the knack of getting wickets. So yes.
No, I think. I don't want to ask them. I think Yasir Shah is not for the World Cup right now. Australia and him was a different ball game. Let's just move to the next. Of course, yes. Match-winning performance, but the controversial.
I wish you hadn't asked me this.
She's really going to get into
trouble. So Ali Mehdi is not going to answer this. Lina has to give 2 yeses now to this one.
No, it's a no for me because of his current form. And the more than form, I feel his mind is not into international cricket. His heart and mind are not into.
Yes.
I'll go. You have to take Mohammad Amir. He's the one who won you the Champions Trophy. He's not been very lucky since then. Let's be honest. He's not been the best bowler, but to win you matches, he's a match winner.
Yes, Mr. Generator. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes.
The match-winning bowler you had in the Champions Trophy does get a spot in the World Cup.
Yeah, and not only that, he's been your best performer in the PSL, so you need to take him.
So 77 wickets in 44 games, 203 runs conceded. Economy rate, Lina, looks absolutely great because this is something what you want from your fast bowler.
Yeah, because he's a very attacking bowler, so obviously he's going to go for some boundaries and people are going to take him for runs. But definite yes, because he picks up wickets.
Right, Junaid Khan, Ali Mehdi?
You've got to take Junaid Khan. Like I mentioned before,
and
he knows
play him, not just take him.
No, you've
him.
got to play him. He knows these conditions very well. It will be a very folly decision if they don't take him.
Yes, next if we can have, because Lina's already given it to Shaheen Shah Afridi, Lina.
Oh yes, definitely yes. He's an upcoming bowler. He's bowled well. He's shown you, but you got to handle him very carefully. You can't play him every match because he's got the tendency of picking up injuries. So you have to use him carefully.
There was a tagline with a very famous film that said, "When all else failed, we didn't." Shaheen Shah Afridi was one of them because when Amir failed, he took wickets and the economy rate's good as well.
No, he's brilliant. He can swing the ball in. He's been our best find in the bowling department. You need to take him.
Shinwari, Lina.
I like him. I like him. He picks up wickets, but the thing is that how many bowlers can you take? So in this situation, maybe he'll be at the fringe. But if there are like 17 players to take, I would take him.
Right, next if we can have, because I definitely think Shinwari is going to have a tough one. But Mickey Arthur's got a lot of favour for him. No, I think too young to call.
Too young. It's too young. It's too early. He's one for the future. I mean, we could really develop him. If you really want to put him on the standby list.
Mohammad Abbas.
Definite no.
What
No,
do you think?
Not for ODI.
The numbers say a lot in first class cricket. The economy rate is 2.73, 413 wickets. A lot of first class, but we've got to define his role in 40 because I think they're trying to drag him into the one-day circuit.
No, you can't put him. He has not performed in the Australia series. You can't take him.
Right, that has been what we think. Obviously, 24 hours are going to tell what comes on and what comes not, and we're going to discuss this tomorrow as well. Leena, thank you very much for your expert analysis. Ali's going to stay with us because we're going to move on to the Champions League segment as well. Time now for a very short break. Stay tuned to Sports Extra.
It's time for Maghrib prayers in Rawalpindi, Islamabad. People in other parts of the country may offer their prayers according to their local timings.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Sayings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He who does not respect elders, does not have mercy on children, does not commend what is good, and does not forbid what is evil, is not one of us.
Welcome back to Sports Extra. Time now to discuss the Champions League quarterfinal second leg in detail. The results are in for the two games that were played. Of course, Barcelona defeating Manchester United at Camp Nou. It was a truly dominant performance by Barcelona, especially Messi. He's shown once again he's the best in the world, and he truly is, because one of those goals was absolutely amazing. United did not have any clue, and of course the second one was where Ajax stunned Juventus and broke all the hearts for the Juventus fans and for those who thought Cristiano Ronaldo is going to change a team, win the Champions League and prove that it wasn't Real Madrid, it was him that went all in vain. We've been joined in studios, Ali Mehdi still here with Asad Nawaz. Asad, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the show.
Walaikum assalam.
Right, I know you have your teeth sinking in right now. You want to talk about this game. You've been blabbering about it since yesterday. What do you think of the game so far?
Well, the only thing that comes to my mind after that game is Lionel Messi. He's proven again that he's the best in the world and he wants it more than anyone. There's been a lot of criticism on him that he's not been performing in important matches, but he has proved yet again that he's the best in the world, and his record against English teams is still there, the way he has played against English teams.
Right, Ali Mehdi, I know United did not have what we needed last night. That flair wasn't there, that comeback wasn't there, but you got to hand it to Barcelona. They were truly dominant. What we talked about United getting the better of Barcelona, the only chance was that they go on from the first minute. It went the other way.
It went completely the other way. Look, Barcelona ran Manchester United completely ragged. They were sensational. The way the three in midfield, Rakitic, Busquets, Arthur played in midfield, they were brilliant along with Coutinho. I mean, they just did not give United a chance. United were a bag of nerves. They were very edgy. They just didn't know how to play. And when they committed the mistakes, Barcelona fully capitalized. Ashley Young was completely terrible. He made 4 errors due to which Messi scored that first goal. Second goal, De Gea made a horrible mistake due to which the goal came, and then wrapped it off, and then Coutinho smashed an absolute stunner. I mean, Barcelona deserved it, and they look like they're the true favourites for the Champions League.
I know Barcelona now is going to lead it up to the final. I just feel that, but United was looking very shaky in contention. But the other game is something you want to talk about, because one did think Juventus is going to be the dominant side, but it wasn't there.
Yes, everyone is thinking that Juventus are going to snatch it easily, but the way Ajax have been playing since the start of the Champions League, it's a young side with a lot of potential, and they have hunger for the game. And we could have seen in the match they had created more chances than Juventus. And talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, well, what can he do alone? Like, he played well, but Ajax was the dominant one and they sealed it away from Juventus.
Yeah, the concept of teamwork was realized, I think, last night, because all of that, blabbering or that overconfidence saying that he's going to win a Champions League with another team now went in vain.
It went in vain and went to his head. I mean, I thought Juventus were completely solely just dependent on Cristiano Ronaldo. He was getting the chances. He was the only goal scorer. Other than that, with Ajax, they were completely overpowering their opponents, overpowering Juventus at the Juventus Stadium. They were pressing the ball high. They were passing it in diagonals, in triangles. They were very brilliant. And then most of all, I mean, the likes of Ziyech, Tadic, Blind, Delight, these are all youngsters, and they were brilliant on the night. They made more chances, and when they got the opportunities, they grabbed it with both hands.
Now, that being said, now we've got 2 of them in the semi-final, Barcelona and Ajax. Now it's the talk of the town is Manchester City tonight, Porto, then Liverpool, and of course Tottenham. All of these 4 teams are battling it out. What do you think?
Well, I think Liverpool's going to have an easy win, but
they're down on aggregate, so you think there's
Liverpool
are up, sorry, yeah.
The Tottenham City game 50-50 because
no Kane and no
exactly, and Aguero is not playing as well, but City has been phenomenal in the previous matches, not the one against Tottenham, but they do have the potential for a comeback. It's just a 1-goal lead.
I still remember the heartbreak of last year with Liverpool. I truly feel that this is their year.
This could be their year. Look, they have it. They have one hands in the semi-finals, because 1 foot in the semi-finals, because they're going 2-0 to the dugout. I think they are going through. But when it comes to Manchester and City and Tottenham, I think Asad is right, because it is so difficult to call. Tottenham just have to make sure that they play aggressively. If they get the first goal, then I think City are out. But if City play with the same way they played against Crystal Palace, beating them 3-1, and they play with true flair, getting the ball to Sterling, to Sane, to Kevin De Bruyne, I think they can run Tottenham ragged.
Right, gentlemen, that's all we have time for. Asad and Ali Mehdi, thank you very much. We're going to leave it at that. Of course, we're going to have those results tonight as well, and then we're going to talk about them, obviously, tomorrow in our next show as well. That's all from this edition of Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.